Hi everyone, it's Stacy. Thank you for coming on this yoga leap with me. Welcome back. If you've been practicing with me for a while, welcome to anyone new finding the video for the first time. As you can see, I have my chair with me today. And to be honest, I'm mostly going to be using the chair. Now, maybe using it in a slightly different way. What I mean by that is I won't always be sitting in the chair, but I'm going to focus on using the chair as a support prop for our practice today. We're going to be focusing on one posture with lots of variations. So I will be demonstrating a lot. So if you find that you have found the version of this pose that you love, you can stick with it while I demonstrate other options for other people. You can find any posture and find a few rounds of breath as you're waiting for me to maybe catch up to where you are. Anything goes, but I really want to focus on one version of, one posture with so many different versions that we can play with or without a chair, with blocks, without blocks. It's triangle pose. I love this pose. It is stretchy, it is strength building, it is really a full body pose, and I love everything about it, but it's not easy. That's why I want to offer all these options. So if you don't have a chair, no problem. You don't need a chair for the practice. Like I said, I'll be trying to cue some alternative options, and we are going to start seated. So I'm going to meet you back in the chair and we'll get started. So as I said, I'm going to start seated in my chair for our warm up. Now I have a chair that is quite light and it's a little bit tippy and wobbly, and I will be moving it around so that I can, for the most part, try and keep my self in frame and facing the camera. If you have a chair that you can't move around, that's fine. You can just move around the chair as needed. Like I said, I might be moving my chair around to accommodate the camera and to show different options. I don't expect you to move your chair around. Other options are blocks or nothing. Anything that you feel you might need support. If you have a wall in your space, whatever you have is great. So we're going to start though with our sort of just our grounding and breath work to help us land here and prepare for the practice. We've found this time, we've carved out this time for ourselves. We've turned on the video, we've closed the door. It's time for ourselves now. So let's tap into the present moment and get on with our practice. So let's find a comfortable seat, whether you are in a chair or on the floor. Really root down through the sit bones, feel the connection of whatever's touching the floor, the mat, the chair. Feet can be firmly planted on a block or the mat. And the back can be gently resting in the chair if you have a back on your chair, or you can be sitting up nice and tall, really stacking the hips and shoulders, relaxing through the shoulders, and just taking a few breaths. And then the last thing is, if it's comfortable, we can close the eyes here. If not, maybe just turning the gaze down towards the floor and finding something that's not moving, something nice and still, a little bit out in front of you that you can rest your gaze on. Let's take a few breaths. We can inhale and let it out, sigh it out. We're just trying to let go of all the what ifs and the I wish I hads, and just try to land here in this moment for the next little while as we work through a warm up, some stretching, and a fun few variations of our triangle pose. As we take a few breaths, try to notice the quality of the breath. Is it moving freely? Are we feeling any areas of stickiness? Does it feel deep or shallow? There's no right or wrong. We just really want to tune into how the breath is feeling, and then by extension, maybe how we are feeling. Noticing as we are taking a few breaths here, have the shoulders started to creep up. Maybe we can roll them back and down. Try to relax through the shoulders a bit. And then if creating a mantra or like a little motto is part of your practice, go ahead and take a few minutes now to create that for yourself. It can be something as simple as I am here, or I am grounded, I am present, or I am willing to try, I am feeling playful. And again, we're just playing with our triangle pose, lots of options. So anything that resonates with you today, go ahead and create that now. We'll take a few more breaths here, and then we'll bring a bit of movement to the breath, start to warm up the body a little bit. So when we're ready, if the eyes are closed, we can start to open up the eyes. Just blink them open, let them adjust to the lighting, taking in your surroundings, taking a few more breaths here, making sure our feet are nice and grounded, that we feel nice and stable on our chair, and then we'll release the hands from our thighs and inhale, reach up towards the sky, and then exhale, let it go. I'm just gonna go over a tiny bit. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and then exhale down. Hopefully we can find a bit of a deeper breath as we reach the arms up and create space through the front side body here. And then exhale, release. Good. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. Let's just stretch a little bit, reaching extra up towards the ceiling here, stretching through the side body a little bit. As we exhale, let's bring the hands down behind our head and even gently start to help us bend and flex through the spine. So we're sort of creating a bit of rounding in the spine. If it helps display the shoulder blades, you could even sort of draw the elbows together a little bit, curl into a little ball. As we inhale, we'll open up, we'll keep the hands connected, find a curve in the spine, lift the heart space up towards the ceiling, and we're moving into our seated cat-cow. And then as we exhale, we'll start to round again. And again, we could draw the elbows in and down, and then open up. Finding a seated cat-cow. At any time today, if hands above head or stretching long is too much, we can release the hands down. We can bring them into cactus. We can stick our hand in our back pockets, which I'll demonstrate. So if any time something doesn't feel good for shoulders or arms, find a shorter lever. Let's do a couple more here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's exhale and round down one more time. Let's inhale and stay nice and open, staying up nice and tall. Take a big inhale here, root down through the sit bones. As we exhale, we're gonna twist. So the elbows are gonna stay wide. We're not gonna draw this elbow across the body. It's gonna stay wide. We're twisting through the core. The elbows are just up by our ears, or as always, if it's too much to keep the hands elevated, no problem. Bring the hands down, come into a more traditional twist with arms crossing in front of the body. But we're leading with the torso, chest, and then shoulders, maybe gazing over the shoulder. I'm gonna bring my hands back up. You find the arms that work for you. Take a big inhale here, and then exhale, untwist. Inhale through center, twist to the other side. It helps to imagine rooting down through those sit bones and helping the twist happen with the core strength. Again, don't drag the elbow across the body. We're keeping the elbows nice and wide if they're lifted. If not, arms are across the body here. We're still twisting through belly, ribs, and chest. Maybe looking over the back shoulder. I'm bringing my arms back up, taking an inhale here, and then exhale, twist through center. Inhale through center, exhale. We're gonna move with our breath a little bit. Inhale through center, exhale. Inhale through center, exhale. Inhale through center, exhale. Good, let's inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, drop them down, maybe roll the shoulders or give them a shake. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of side bending. So just like before, let's reach up, inhale, exhale, bring the hands back down behind the head again, or you can just let the hands come down to the side. We're gonna do some side bending. So if the arms up here is a bit too much, you might also want to make sure that you are nice and firmly planted as we tip towards the side on the exhale. Again, tipping towards the side, the elbows are moving as one. So the right elbow is reaching up, left reaching down. So the reason I said plant the feet is because I don't know what kind of chair you have. Mine's kind of tippy, so I wanted to make sure I had a bit of support on the sides of my chair so that I didn't tip off my chair. If your chair is nice and stable, feet can stay wherever they feel comfortable. Let's inhale here. Open up towards the front. Good. Exhale. On the next inhale, we'll come through center. Exhale. Take an inhale again. And then exhale to the other side. So we're trying not to lean too forward. We're really trying to bend towards the side. Now, if the arms are too much up by the ears here, hands can be resting on the thighs. One arm could be reaching down to help find a bit of length and stretch. Or if it feels good, even opening up the shoulders and arms like spread wings. I'm going to come back to the elbows here. Inhale and exhale. And then on the next inhale, come up through center, and then we're going to move with breath. Exhale. Inhale through center, keeping the chest facing forward as we dip side to side, not forwards. Open up. Inhale and exhale. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's go one more to the other side as we inhale here. Exhale. Inhale through center. Release the arms. Exhale. Shake it all out. Awesome. Now, if you haven't already stepped your feet nice and wide, let's do that. We're just going to do a little bit of stretching through the legs, and then we're going to start getting into our triangle options. So let's step the feet nice and wide here. And then let's come down. We're going to rest our elbow on our knee, but we're not just going to sort of dump in and collapse. We're going to still use our strength. So we're going to be thinking a lot about spinning these bottom ribs open to face, forward. So we're sort of rooting into the elbow and using the core strength. This pressing into the elbow sensation, you'll see as soon as you press into the elbow, it sort of opens up the heart space and pulls these ribs from underneath you. And then we're going to just inhale here, reach the arm up. If you want to stay here, you can. If you feel like opening up and feeling a bit more stretch and opening, you can do that as well. Stay here for a breath. And then we'll close everything off. On the next inhale, we'll come all the way up to center. Good. Roll the shoulders, and then we'll prep for the other side. So same thing, we can find that side bend. So again, we're not leaning forward, chest down towards the leg. We're bending sideways, elbow comes to knee, but we're pressing into that knee, spinning these bottom ribs open, top arm reaches up. And once again, we don't want to collapse. We want to make sure we're nice and open, but we can feel the energy of the elbow into knee, knee into elbow to help us stay open. And we could spread the arms wide if we wanted to as well. Good. On the next inhale, we'll come close the arms and come up through center. We're going to see if we can take it a little deeper. If you liked that version, go ahead and stick with that. If you're feeling ready to maybe reach down a little lower even and spread the arm wide, we could do that. So nice and grounded through both sit bones. So again, we don't want to fall off of our chair, so make sure we're rooted down, kind of distributing the weight equally through both sit bones. And this, again, we want to feel the pressure of the arm into the leg, leg into the arm, and that helps spin the torso open as we reach up. Again, if the top arm is too much, bring it down, stick the hand behind your head, or bring it down and stick it in your back pocket here. We just want to roll the shoulder open, roll the heart space open, and we'll stay for another breath. Inhale and exhale here. On the next inhale, maybe using the arm to help us come up through center. Shake it out, roll those shoulders. And then again, either choosing the elbow on the knee version, or if we feel ready, reaching further down, and we're going to press leg into arm, arm into leg. That's going to spin the heart space. Top arm's going to reach up or behind the head, or we're going to stick our hand in our back pocket and roll the shoulder open. So wherever we are, let's stay for another round of breath. On the next inhale, with a bit of help from that top arm, let's come all the way up through center. Good. Okay, let's roll the shoulders, take a few breaths if we need. Maybe even come into a nice forward fold. Let the head be heavy. Let the shoulder blades splay open. Shake it out here. You can nod the head yes and no. And then we'll bring our hands to our knees. We can roll all the way up to seated. Okay, so I'm going to be demonstrating quite a few triangle options standing, but also using the chair as support. If you're going to be doing triangles seated in the chair, we have a couple of options. So we can come into one of a few options while we're seated. So we can scooch your, again, depending on the type of chair you have, you might want to scooch yourself a little bit to the edge of the chair. And for example, on one side here, we're going to have our left leg planted into the mat, knee bent, and then we'll just step that right leg out to the side. Let me move over a little bit more here. Sort of to the side and forward. So you can see we've got a bit of a triangle shape here. So this right foot, we want to try and plant it down. So the toes, you just might have to sort of play with the angle of your foot and making sure you're being supported by your chair here, sitting up nice and tall. In our triangle pose, we could reach the right arm down the outstretched leg, the right leg, and the left arm sweeps up and over. And then we've got our triangle option like this. And then some of us in the chair are going to be coming to reverse triangles as well. Same thing, you can use the chair for support here or just reach down and then find a reverse triangle this way. If this feels okay, you can try that. Otherwise, you can stick with a bit more of a side angle, in which case the stance becomes a little wider. The right leg still stands out to the side and we're still bending our left leg. We're supported by the chair underneath our sit bones. And we can come into our side angle and reverse. So these are very similar. We're going to get nice big open stretches with a nice stance in the legs, pressing down into the feet and being supported by the chair. So those are a couple of versions for a triangle if you're staying seated, and of course we'll do them on the other side. So if that's something that you're ready to try out and you're sitting in your chair for triangle, go ahead and try those out. You can flow through breath work with triangle moving, or you can stay in stillness, whatever works for you. And I want to now show a few options for standing up but still using the chair. So again, depending on the type of chair you have, you might be using the top or the back as your support. You might be using the seat as your support. This is what I'm going to choose. I'm going to move through our flow using the seat level as support. You might not use any chair at all, in which case we'll find ourselves flowing through our downward dog, stepping back, pressing into the hands and sending the hips back, and then stepping our feet forward and coming into our triangles without the support of a chair. So it'll look fairly similar if you are moving with or without the chair, but like I said, I wanted to show those options. What I'm going to focus on, of course, is using the chair as support. So remember, if you're seated in the chair, you've seen some options. You can find breath work in some of those triangle options, or flowing through forward folds and inhaling, reaching long, some cat-cow, whatever feels best. For those of us coming into our triangle flow with the chair, I'm going to face the chair this way so that I have no obstructions as I use the seat to support. And I'm going to step back into a downward dog using my chair. So I'm going to fold forward, hands are going to come to the chair, and I'm going to step my feet pretty far back, as far as I can, and then dip my chest through my shoulders. So this is our downward dog option with the chair. And we're feeling a nice big stretch and opening underneath the arms and the front side body, and probably along the back of the legs here. Ooh, stepped out of frame a little bit. There we go. Try that again. So we're in our nice outstretched downward dog. We'll be feeling some stretch. We can have a nice bend in the knees, and we can really relax the belly onto the legs. So let the legs take some of the weight of the body. Let the hands be heavy in the chair. This is our downward dog. You can stay in stillness. You can walk the dog out if you'd like. And remember, if you're on the floor, pretty similar. Hands rooting into the floor, knees still nice and bent. You can walk the dog out. Your choice. I'm coming back to the chair because, like I said, this is how I'm going to do the flow today. When we're ready, let's find a breath and stillness in our downward dog. And then we're going to lift our gaze up to the chair. We're going to sort of pull ourselves forward and step up to the chair so that when we press into the chair here, now our wrists are stuck under our shoulders and it's a nice strong base of support. Then we're going to really root into that right hand as the left hand starts to lift and open. So we're feeling that those ribs, just like in our warm-up, as we press into this left hand, the ribs underneath here are going to start twisting towards the front. We can even bend into the right leg. Right hand is supporting us, and we're coming into this open twist. Again, as always, if the top arm is too much, bring it down behind the ears, roll the shoulders open, or we can even bring it right down, stick it in our back side pocket here. So we're in this big twist, wherever the hands are, let's stay for another breath. And then exhale, let's untwist, come around to center, and we'll go to the other side. Now we're going to plant the left hand, press into this left hand, and maybe even bend into the left knee now as the ribs spin under and we open up towards the back of the room, right arm reaches up. And again, option to bring hand behind head or stick it in our back side pocket. So we're twisting, pressing into that left hand, spinning those left ribs underneath. Inhale here. Exhale, let's untwist. We'll come back to center, plant both hands, and then sort of send the hips and the feet back. We'll find that nice long downward dog here. Staying in your downward dog, if you're on the floor flowing through the twists, you'll be stepping from your downward dog, stepping up into a forward fold, and either planting the hand on the floor or a block, and then finding the twist this way, and then this way. So it's a very similar twist. And if you're in the chair, just finding that twist like we did at the beginning of the class. Okay, let's find another breath here. And then we're going to pull ourselves through, step up. We're going to do that flow again, step up to the chair, making sure that now our wrists are stacked under the shoulders. Let's press into that right hand, spin the right ribs under, bend the right knee, open up left arm. And then exhale, go to the other side, press into left hand, bend left knee, right arm reaches up. And come on back down through center. Step back to downward dog again. Take a breath. On the inhale, look up, step up. We're going to do one more flow. Press the right hand, bend the right knee, spin the right ribs under, left hand opens up. Exhale, come through center, press into left hand, bend the left knee, spin the left ribs under, right arm reaches up. Exhale, come back through center, step back to downward dog. So staying here for a few breaths. Now, if you're in your chair, options for the stretches, of course, and the twists are just like we were doing at the beginning. So opening up this way, options for downward dog and forward fold over the legs. Taking a few breaths. So finding your downward dog, whether you're in the chair, using the chair as support, or in a downward dog on the mat, stay for another full cycle of breath. This time we're going to step forward, but we're going to step forward with our right foot only. So we're going to step forward, and now we find ourselves in our triangle shape. So we're really getting into our triangle now. Adjust the stance. If you need to step that back foot in a little bit, make sure the feet are on train tracks for extra support. And now we're going to press into that right hand just like we did before, and we're going to start to spin the right ribs under. We're going to try and keep the legs straight with a little micro bend, pressing and scissoring the legs shut as we spin the ribs open, and we can start to see that we're creating this triangle shape with the help of the chair, our feet in our triangle, and we're reaching up or behind the head or of course in the back pocket, spin the shoulder open. Sort of energetically think about sending the hips back as the head energy sends this way. So sending the energy this way, sending the energy this way. We're in our triangle pose here. Stay for another breath. And then let's close it off. So we're going to turn the hips forward. We're going to plant both hands. We'll step that right foot back into our downward dog. Stay for a breath. This time look up, step the left foot forward and find that triangle stance on the other side. Make any adjustments you need to make, making sure that the feet are on train track. So they are, they're not one behind each other. They have some space. This will make you feel more stable in your triangle pose. And this time we're going to plant that left hand. Right hand's going to start to sweep up. We're sending energy in the hips back this way, energy out the head this way. Top arm reaches up behind the head or in the back pocket as we spin the ribs under and we open towards the back of the room. I've turned away from the camera, but this is good. You can see the back angle, support, energy, energy. Stay for another breath. We're in our triangle here. And then we'll come back towards the chair. So as we start to twist towards the chair, bring the hips to face the chair as well. And then we'll step back to our downward dog. Stay for a breath. All right. Round two, let's add on. We're going to step that right foot forward. Find our triangle pose here. We're pressing into the chair. As we really root down through the right hand, we start to release the left hand. We start to send the hips back this way, energy back towards that wall, energy this way. Find a nice long line of energy down the side body and a big stretch down both legs. This is our triangle. Let's stay for a breath here. And then we're going to come into a twisted triangle. So this is called an open twist. We're twisting and we're all open. There's nothing impeding our twist here. Now what we're going to do is on the exhale, we're going to twist back towards the chair. The feet stay the same. They don't move. Energy still sending energy out through the back, energy out through the head. But now we're going to plant that left hand down and it's going to press as we start to twist open towards the back. And now you can see we're twisting towards that front right leg and it's kind of in our way. So this is called our closed twist, our closed triangle twist. And again, remember the arm can be wherever it needs to be. Spinning the ribs under, reaching the heart space forward, reaching energy out through the tailbone and the head. Stay for a breath. And then exhale, let's untwist, come back forwards, and then we'll step back to that downward dog again. Whoo! That is twisty. Lots of stretching. Walk out your dog or stay in stillness for another breath. Remember, the knees can be bent. We can rest the belly right on the knees here. Downward dog should be somewhat restful. If you're in the chair, remember you can just fold forward. You could find child's pose. Let's stay for another breath. All right, here we go. Let's inhale, look towards the chair. We're going to step that left foot forward. And our left hand's going to plant, and we're going to start by doing that nice open twist. So it's going to be towards, for me, the back of the room. So send energy out through the tailbone, send energy out through the crown of the head. Press energy into the left hand as right arm sweeps up. But the difference here is we're open. The twist is open. Feet are on train tracks. We're sending energy and hips back towards the wall and energy out through the crown of the head for another breath. On the exhale, let's come back towards the chair. The feet stay the same. We square the hips off. And now the right hand presses into the chair. We're going to start to spin the right ribs under and open up towards the left leg. So you can see, this is what I'm talking about. The leg is kind of in our way. So this is a closed twist triangle pose. Send energy out through the tailbone, energy out through the crown of the head. Arm can be up, behind the ear, or in our back pocket. The heart space is open for another couple rounds of breath. One more big inhale here. Let's exhale and twist back towards the chair. Square off the hips, plant into both hands and step back. Find that downward dog. Awesome. Let's step both feet up towards the chair. If we'd like, we can release the hands, sweep the arms up. Inhale, exhale, hands through heart center, and find our Tadasana, standing at the top of the mat. Take a few breaths. Energy through the feet, energy out through the crown of the head, and turning the palms towards the front. This will help open up through the front side body. A couple of rounds of breath here. All right, let's just relax. Shake it all out. Ooh, we did a lot of triangle, a lot of stretching, a lot of twisting, so hopefully we feel nice and like we really got a good movement through our hips, through our torso. Let's come back down to the chair or the floor, and we'll just stretch it out a little bit. Doing the triangle poses, there's a lot of stretching through the back of the leg and the sides of the body, so let's just stretch out the hips a little bit. We can come into our figure four, flexing the right foot and crossing that foot over the knee and just helping guide the knee open. We could stay up nice and tall here or hinge forward. Of course, if you're on the floor, you can come into a seated figure four, or you can already roll back down to your back and come into a reclined figure four. And we'll just lean forward as much as feels right, getting as much stretch in the outside of the right hip. Oh, excuse me. I don't know where you are, but it's winter here where we are. We're all stuck inside, breathing in our heated air, not getting as much fresh air as maybe we should. Let's take another breath here. And then we'll come on out and we'll change sides. So we'll lower that right foot down, lift left leg up, flex that left foot, cross it over right knee, and just help sort of guide the right knee open, sitting up nice and tall. This might be enough, or you may want to start to hinge forward just to deepen the sensation of stretch down the left side this time. Let's take another breath, and then we'll come on up, uncross the legs. And now if there's anything else your body is craving, maybe you want to stretch out the arms a little bit down the back. We did a lot of stretching in our downward dogs for the front of the body and the armpit. Maybe we want to just quickly stretch out the backs of our shoulders. We can do that. If you want to just curl into a little ball, if you're on the floor, go ahead and do that. If you're looking to go into happy baby or any stretches, legs up the wall, whatever you need, go ahead and find that now. There's any option is great. We just want to make sure that we satisfy any sort of signals our bodies are sending so that we can address them and then move into our Shavasana, our final sort of relaxation. So no rush. Whenever you're ready, start to move into your posture for relaxation. If you're in the chair, go ahead and use some support of the chair. Hands can rest in your lap. If you're on the floor, options are endless. You can have knees bent, you can have legs straight out in front of you. You can even roll onto your side or your belly for something different for Shavasana. But whatever it is, make your way there. And then again, just like we started, if it's comfortable, closing the eyes, or if not, just turning the gaze down towards the floor and finding something to rest your gaze on. We'll take a few deep breaths while we scan our bodies from head to toe, front to back, side to side, and just notice if there are any areas we're still holding on to any tension. And we'll just try to breathe a little loving kindness that way. Let it go. Shavasana is the time for our physical and energetic bodies to absorb all that good work we just did and turn it into something magical. It's a time for integration and rest. And know that rest is different from sleep and that we need both every day. And we should never pass up an opportunity to just rest and do nothing. And of course, the beauty of practicing through the lens is you can press pause here or let the video play out if you want or need to stay in Shavasana for any more time. If you're ready to get on with your day, evening, week ahead, go ahead and start to wiggle fingers and toes and maybe circle wrists and ankles. You can choose to stretch long or curl into a little ball. One last time. Just before making your way back to a comfortable seated position if you're not there already. And from here, we can all take a breath together. Inhale, sweep our arms up overhead. Gather all that energy that we created, draw it back down towards your heart center. You can rest your hands over your heart in prayer or just rest them over your heart or bring them back down to your lap, wherever it feels comfortable for you. I want to thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide and inviting me into your personal private yoga practice spaces. It's truly an honor, and I can't wait to practice again with you here next week. Until then, take care. Bye, everyone. Okay. I hope that felt a little interesting. That was a lot of repetition of triangle pose, which is not a bad thing. It's good sometimes to focus on one particular posture and really see how different versions and variations feel in our bodies. So I hope you enjoyed that, and take care. We'll see you again next week. Bye.